Hello friends, fans and family. Okay, it was suggested by someone. Hold on, I'm just going to put the light on because it's a bit dark in here. There you go, that's better. Okay, it has been suggested by friends and family that maybe I'd like to do a bedtime story type thing. So I thought the best way to do it was read the first chapter of the Books of Drayan, the children's novel that I've been writing, which is finished now. If you like it, and if you want more, can you say that you want more? Okay? Thank you. Okay, this is the Books of Drayan, and it's called Through the Rainbow, and it's chapter 1, and it's called The Start. You have to excuse me, I'm going to look at the screen again. Right, it's dedicated to the real King and Queen of Drayan, which is King Francis and Queen Eileen, and all their children and their children's children. There were still a few minutes to go before the sun would rise. A breeze was already causing the cold ground mist to drift away. The early mornings were still cold, even though spring was well on its way to becoming summer. Two hooded figures made their way through the darkness. The dew dampened their shoes and the hems of their cloaks. Each carried a well-wrapped bundle that would now and then stir in their arms. One on the left had a satchel hanging from his right shoulder, while the one on the left carried a large pack on his back and had a heavily laden bag hanging from his right shoulder. A dark orange and red glow began to lighten the horizon ahead of them, spreading along the hilltops like light through the crack in a door. The stone pillar that they were headed for stood like a sentinel in the valley. The satchel that the left figure carried vibrated almost excitedly at his side. The pillar, now only a few feet from them, started to hum as though greeting an old friend. The stone pillar bore no marks that could be seen on first sight. Some learned men have said that it was as old as time itself. Others said it was a marker for the old ways, old roads that were still travelled by some that knew where to look for them. The figure shifted the tiny bundle to his right arm and put his left inside the satchel. Where his hand closed around the crystal, it vibrated. The stone felt warm and alive. He pulled it free and looked at the rough pear-shaped crystal that he held before him. It seemed to contain a swirling, colourful mist. Now and then he seemed to glimpse shadows, but it never stayed still long enough to actually see anything very clearly. "My lord, the sun is rising," said the other man, nodding towards the horizon. The man looked up from the crystal. The sky was now turning pink, and the sun's rays pierced the clouds like a halo. He placed the crystal into the hollow atop the pillar and waited. The base of the pillar began to glow white. It spread upwards, faint words appearing on the stone where none had been before, their meaning lost in time. The light from the rock reached the crystal at the same time as the sun's light. There was an explosion of colour. Both men shielded their eyes as a wide beam of rainbow light shot from the crystal. A few yards away, at the beam's widest point, stood a wrought iron gate. "Go quickly, the gate will only last the sun's rising." The second man rushed towards the opening. "Place the child somewhere safe and come back quickly for the second," he called after his disappearing companion. Once the man passed through the gate, he found himself in a tunnel filled with swirling colours. Voices sang hypnotically and gently. The man stopped rushing forwards and stopped. He relaxed. for a moment forgetting why he was there, until the child stirred in his arms. Ahead of him was another gate. He found himself standing in front of a large building like a castle almost. Towers rose on either side of its arched doorway. The man had no time to stop and look around or admire this new world that he had arrived in. There would be time for that later. The sun was rising here too. He did not have much time. He placed the child on the steps in front of the big wooden doors and removed the packs that he carried, placing them on beside the child. And then he turned and rushed back through the gate. The sun was rising fast. The gate would not last much longer. Once again the voices hypnotized him, and only when he came out through the other gate did he remember what he was doing. The sun was almost above the horizon now. He rushed forward, grabbed the second child, and turned hurriedly back towards the gate. He faded away like mist. For a moment both stood there looking at the place where the gate had been, and then he turned. "My lord, I'm sorry." The other man said nothing. The empty look in his eyes said it all. He had only wanted his boys to grow up together, to be there for one another in times of danger. The prophecy had come true after all. In trying to save his twin sons from their fate, he had only aided it into happening. As the prophecy had predicted, neither twin would know the other until one twin's end. Then would brother meet brother. He looked at the crystal upon the rock, black and cold. It would be many years before it would work again, and by then it would probably be too late. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you want more. Thank you for watching.